I present to you my top 10 architectural visualization studios in Ukraine. Let's jump right in. Number 10. Spectrum. Spectrum's work feels less like CG imagery and more like carefully out-directed photography. Their visual language is built on restraint, calm compositions, clean horizon lines, and a lot of intentional negative space, especially in the skies. The architecture never looks over-polished. Instead, it sits naturally in the world with believable contrast and materials that stay subtle rather than screaming for attention. A big part of their signature is how they use landscape. Vegetation isn't decoration, it's framing. Trees, grasses, and shadows create depth and guide your eye, almost like a cinematographer using foreground to shape the shot. The mood is realistic but elevated, like a high-end editorial spread. Interiors follow the same philosophy: minimal, quiet, and warm. You get large, confident surfaces, very precise textures, and soft, credible lighting that avoids that CG shine. Everything feels curated but not staged, and when they go atmospheric, they go all in, but still with taste. Fog, dust, haze, and light shafts are used as architectural elements, not effects. The result is cinematic, but never cheesy. My take: Spectrum doesn't sell renderings. They sell a feeling of reality, refined, controlled, and extremely confident. Number 9. Pryplyv. If you're looking for ArchViz that feels like a film still, Pryplyv is a perfect example. What hits me first is how they treat architecture as a quiet protagonist, not the loud hero. The buildings are clean, restrained, almost minimal, but they're always placed inside a strong atmosphere. Tropical scenes with dense palms, wet stone paths, deep shadows, and sun rays cutting through the canopy. Then, suddenly the opposite extreme. A timber cabin buried in snow, with huge white negative space and that crisp, silent light. Their visual language is built on contrast and column control. Warm dusk, gradients over water and reflections. Then cold, bright daylight in a brick courtyard with people moving through it. They're not afraid of darkness either. Night shots with soft interior glow and a mirror-like landscape do a lot of storytelling. And I love the editorial touches, black and white moments, fashion-like framing, a figure in steam, a spiral stair seen almost like graphic design. Pryplyv doesn't just show a project, they build a mood you can step into. Number 8. Prostir. Prostir's visual language is all about place, and they treat it like the main character. Their images don't just show architecture, they build a mood around it. Misty forests, mountain air, tropical heat, and that crisp coastal sunlight. You'll notice how often they frame with nature. Ferns in the foreground, palms cutting across the sky, silhouettes of trees against a clean horizon. It's a cinematic trick, but Prostir uses it with discipline to create depth and scale. Their style leans premium and aspirational. Luxury resorts, lifestyle terraces, rooftop pools, and glossy urban towers. Lighting is confident and varied, from soft, overcast realism to deep blue hour scenes where the building glows like a lantern. And they're not afraid of people. Crowds, casual movement, tiny figures in huge landscapes, it all sells the narrative. This is how it feels to be here. My takeaway: Prostir is strongest when the architecture and environment fuse into one story. They're not just rendering buildings, they're rendering experiences. Number 7. Follow You Home. Follow You Home is a studio with a visual language that sits right between architectural clarity and editorial poetry. A lot of their images breathe big, soft skies, clean horizons, and compositions that leave generous negative space, so the architecture feels calm and intentional. Even in bright daylight scenes, the contrast stays controlled, the materials read tactile, and the landscaping is treated like a designed layer, not decoration. What really stands out is how human their storytelling is. You'll see motion blur, small gatherings, kids moving through space. It's not about perfect people, it's about believable life. The atmosphere is warm and communal, with lighting that feels natural, not staged. And then they switch gears into a more experimental cinematic mode. Foggy fields, bold silhouettes, surreal objects, deep reds, heavy shadows. Those images feel like film stills, where architecture becomes mood and metaphor. My take: Follow You Home is strongest when they lean into this quiet confidence, clean realism with just enough emotion to make you feel the place. Number 6. Bobak Studio. If you like ArchViz that feels less like a brochure and more like a film still, Bobak Studio is exactly that lane. Their visual language is calm, precise, and quietly cinematic. The camera is almost always placed like a real photographer would do it, framed by foreground trees, cropped edges, soft depth, and lots of air around the building so the architecture can breathe. Lighting is a big signature here. They lean into natural daylight with crisp shadows and clean skies, but they're just as strong in mood. Overcast softness, winter haze, and those subtle atmospheric layers that make distance feel real. You can see it in the way facades sit inside the landscape, not on top of it. What I also like is their human scale. People aren't decoration, they're cues. A small group in the courtyard, a figure in motion blur, a quiet moment that explains how the space will be used. Materials stay believable and restrained. Brick, concrete, glass, timber, greenery, nothing screams CG. It's controlled, grounded, and editorial. Bobak's images don't try to impress you with tricks. They win with taste, framing, and atmosphere. Number 5. Inviz. Inviz's visual language is all about calm confidence. Their images feel airy and editorial. Big skies, clean horizons, and compositions that give architecture room to breathe. You'll see a lot of soft daylight and gentle contrast, with materials kept honest, concrete that reads like concrete, warm timber, glass that reflects without screaming. What I like is how they balance realism with restraint. Landscaping is never just decoration, it's used as structure. Low shrubs guiding the eye, trees framing facades, and long paths pulling you into the scene. Even the people are treated as atmosphere, not the main character. Inviz also plays a nice range of moods. Bright Mediterranean exteriors with pools and sharp shadows, quiet twilight street views where windows glow just enough. And then those darker cinematic moments. Night city skylines, dramatic archways, wet pavement reflections. But the look stays consistent. Clean, modern, slightly premium. Overall, Inviz renders architecture like a product shoot. Minimal, controlled, and elegant, with just enough life to feel believable. Number 4. Marchenko Novak Studio. Marchenko Novak Studio's signature is photographic realism without the look at me vibe. Clean compositions, restrained color palettes, and light that's always doing the heavy lifting. A lot of the work is built around strong, readable geometry and balanced framing. You'll see centered, almost architectural elevations where symmetry and rhythm carry the image, softened by believable landscaping and subtle imperfections. They're also great at time-of-day storytelling. In the evening scenes, the architecture becomes a lantern, warm interior glow, carefully controlled contrast, and reflections that feel engineered rather than rendered. It's polished but never plastic. What I personally love is how they treat context. Atmosphere is used like a lens filter, not a special effect. Skies stay calm, shadows stay natural, and the environment supports the building instead of competing with it. If you want a studio that sells architecture through clarity, mood, and taste, Marchenko Novak is top tier. and honestly, one of the strongest visual languages coming out of Ukraine right now. Number 3. Ramka. Ramka's images feel less like marketing renders and more like carefully shot architectural photography. Their whole visual language is built around framing and restraint. Big, calm compositions with lots of breathing room, a single subject placed dead center or slightly off, and the world is allowed to stay quiet around it. You see it in the airport sunrise shot with the plane silhouette, or the winter scenes where the architecture sits inside a huge sky and soft snow haze. Lighting is never loud. It's natural, cinematic, and often weather-driven. Fog, blue hour, low winter sun, rain-wet reflections. That atmosphere does a lot of storytelling work, and it makes the projects feel lived in without needing busy details. Ramka also loves scale and contrast. Tiny human figures against monumental forms, like that dramatic interior with the oversized cone element, or distant silhouettes that turn a building into a stage. Even when they go graphic, like black and white frames and reflections, the mood stays minimalist and precise. My take, Ramka's strength is emotional clarity. They don't oversell the architecture. They frame it, let it breathe, and that confidence is exactly what makes the images hit. Number 2. Rytm. Rytm's work feels like stills from a film you want to step into. They love strong, quiet compositions, big skies, lots of breathing room, and architecture placed with confidence, often slightly off-center, so the scene feels lived in, not staged. Lighting is where they really flex. You'll see crisp daytime realism, but the mood shifts fast into blue hour and soft twilight, with warm interior glow used like a narrative cue, guiding your eye through the frame. Rytm also leans heavily into atmosphere and context. Mist rolls over a landscape, water turns into a mirror, dense greenery becomes a framing device. The architecture isn't isolated, it's embedded, surrounded, sometimes almost swallowed by nature. And when they go conceptual, they still keep it grounded. Clean geometry, tactile materials, and tiny human moments for scale and story, whether it's a floating cluster of cabins on a lake or a tower caught in that exact minute before night fully arrives. Number 1. Hism. If you want to understand Hism in one sentence, it's cinematic luxury, built on light, scale, and restraint. Their images start with architecture as atmosphere. Vast floor-to-ceiling glazing turns the city into a backdrop and a material at the same time. You'll notice how they frame views like portrait photography. The skyline is never just outside, it's staged, centered, and quietly monumental. Inside, the language is calm and tactile, warm timber, veined marble, brushed metal, soft textiles, and carefully spaced furniture. Nothing shouts. The drama comes from proportion and from sunlight sliding across surfaces, creating long, confident shadows. Hism also loves contrast. Morning clarity versus dusk glow, cool blue city haze against warm interior amber. Even in night scenes, the mood stays elegant, never noisy, with lighting that feels curated like a high-end hotel lobby. On the exterior side, glass is treated like a mirror and a fabric. Crisp reflections, precise vertical rhythm, and a strong sense of crafted detail, often paired with lush, composed landscaping. Overall, Hism doesn't just show projects, they sell a lifestyle of quiet prestige, where every frame feels expensive, intentional, and timeless.
Those were my top 10 ArchViz studios in Ukraine. If you want to discover more great studios around the world, follow the channel and check out ARCHVIZBASE.com, my curated database of more than 1,000 hand-picked ArchViz studios worldwide.